Yeah, first of all, thank you all for being here. This is the final presentation or talk in the Webflow room, and hopefully you learned a lot of interesting stuff today, and you will learn on this stack as well. So, what I want to talk about today is essentially building smart or validating and shipping with an AI tool, and how we did it with ChatGPT and Webflow. I'm going to talk about a use case we kind of covered and share kind of the mistakes and lessons that we learned along the way. So, to kick off this amazing presentation, I want to leave a little note with you. While you're thinking about your idea, someone else is already charging for it. So the gap is getting huge, and all of us know it because of all of the AI tools, the vibe coding, the development situation that's happening in the industry. The most important question right now is not, is your idea good, but is how fast can you ship it out to people who can actually see and use it in the day-to-day life. And that's what I want to share with you today, an example of how flowNinja used that framework and kind of tested an internal tool that we ship to our clients. So first, a little bit about me. My name is Andrija, and I'm a development team lead at flowNinja. I lead a whole production pod where we work on day-to-day client work, on websites, build web applications, all of their needs. And apart from that, also part of the team that worked on the Foresight tool. So this is the tool that I'm talking about in the presentation. Essentially, I'm going to speak from both perspectives, where I am somebody who actually works for clients, and I'm also somebody that works, let's say, for himself, in a sense that he is building his own tool, kind of the thought process and what we went through when thinking about the problem that we were solving. And again, the problem. Initially, in our agency, for example, when a new prospect or a new client comes, we, as Tadia talked a little bit earlier, we kind of try to audit their website. We go through a series of questions, edge cases, where we try to answer a lot of different problems that they have. So we try to notice what their website is built out, how it is performing. And essentially, this is something that kind of opens the door for us into the conversation with them before we actually start selling anything. So we kind of talk about their current situation. Is it good? Is it bad? What we need to do. And the process for this, how it looks, or it used to look like, is there were a lot of different people that were key to that process for being successful. Somebody from sales, as Tadia or Mihailo, had to go from person to person. Hey, can you take a look at this website? Hey, can you do an SEO check? Hey, is the content here good? Do we have tracking? Are cookies working? And a lot of different people having small parts of the information. And then one person has to kind of mash it up together, create a report, send it to the client, and then present it. And he's like, okay, this is what we have. And that was the main problem that we tried to solve. And the idea came to, hey, why don't we try to consolidate this into one place, into one tool? And if we do it successfully, why not share it with the community, share it with different people, let our clients use it as well, so that we have like one place, or essentially we have a person, a tool in the agency that does this instead of 4 different people. I'm going to walk you through shortly what Foresight is and how it works. Essentially, what it is hundreds of audits that we did through our agency, all of the knowledge, the questions, the edge cases that we cover, consolidated into one place. You go to our website, you have an URL input field, you put in your website link, you answer 2 questions. What is your agency about? What is the goal of the website? And then stuff starts to happen. The tool scrapes the entire website. We have an AI model in the backend that is trained due to those years of experience, and essentially scores your website in 10 different categories. SEO, content, analytics, performance, all of those different things. And based on those categories, it creates like an overall health score. So then you know either the website is good, bad, medium, mediocre, whatever. And then you have an idea where that website is positioned right now. And the greatest thing about the tool is not what the score, but what comes after is essentially the prioritized recommendations, or how does AI see your website, what you need to fix, the order you need to fix it in, when you need to prioritize, what is the most important and greatest impact on the website it is going to make. Essentially, how the process went, and it was here it says 2 phases, 1 goal, and ship fast. That was not in the beginning. So we had an idea, and we were like, okay, how are we going to do this? Keep in mind that this was like 1.5 years ago, where AI wasn't so big and so strong. Was like, let's do a Notion document. And all of you guys know how that looks, and we were like, okay, let's document everything. Somebody's going to answer questions. No. So we had a chance where we wanted to validate our idea, like, is it even good enough? Does it work? And then the second part came, where even if that first phase need to be successful for us to complete the second phase. So the first phase was validating, and here is the goal. No UI, no databases, no kind of complicated setups, just like one form, the cheapest possible thing that we can have. It's ugly and it's fine, it's manual, that's also fine. The idea was essentially in 2 weeks, we created a model that was possible to kind of scrape the entire website and push out the report. I'm going a bit ahead of myself, apologies. So essentially, yes, 2 weeks, no UI, no database. All of the steps, as you see, we have an URL and an email form, an AI prompt with a scraper that goes through the website, answers all of the questions, covers all of the edge cases that we taught it to. Then you hit a wall, you sign off from the report, you wait 15, 20 minutes, and after 15, 20 minutes, in your email inbox, a PDF pops in. As you can see, that's the preview of the first email that we sent out to users in the community. Hey, your report is complete, check it out in this place. And that's it. No overcomplicated, as Tadja mentioned, single-seat jet engines and stuff like that. How we published this, or how we pushed it to the community, we added to our website, we used social media, we used existing marketing channels, and we used our newsletter campaigns. So every channel we already had, we didn't create any new people, no new organic traffic, just what we had existing to hear what people are saying about this. And the biggest question is, did people actually use it? So in the first 2 weeks that we launched our report, we got 300 reports generated, no paid acquisition, no ads, just our own marketing channels. And of course, when you have an idea that you're validating, what happened as well was 50 of those 300 reports are complete failures. And what we needed to do was essentially manually regenerate those reports, send emails to people, hey, we know you used our tool, this didn't work, but here's the report that you wanted, and then kind of provide them with the insight. And after 2 months, essentially, we had 1,500 reports generated through an ugly UI tool that we sent an email with a PDF generated with a wall of text. Hey, this is your website, this is what it's doing right now. And the idea, and what's most important here right now, is we didn't ask people if they'd use it. We actually tested and watched people use it. And this is what told us, okay, maybe we're onto something, maybe this makes sense to kind of invest. And especially today, because I know a lot of also my colleagues in the agency and a lot of different people, hey, I have an amazing idea, and then they spend like months perfecting the UI, doing design, edge case testing, building out the application, and then nobody uses it because they don't know if people are going to use it or not. And that's what we solved with the validation process. The next step was what the PDF gave us, was confirmation that we're on the right track. But it didn't give us data. We didn't have information. We didn't know which sections did people read, where did they stick with the report, what did they like, what didn't they like, how long they were on the report pages, did they actually implement stuff that we were giving them, was it actually useful for them? And this is what a PDF tells you. It tells you if people are interested in, but it doesn't tell you how they're interested in the report that you generated. And this is where the second phase came in, the actual scale up. So here is where you actually start unleashing real UX, starting wireframes, designing, building, where we created a real stack application. So we went through the whole process of designing, making sure we kind of polished the loading experience so that people don't have to wait 20 minutes to get like a PDF, which is very funny that it worked, but I don't know. And essentially what we used was Webflow Cloud, so Next.js for the front end. We used Railway for hosting, MongoDB as a database, and OpenAI API that actually created the model, that hosted all of the questions and answered all of the scraper results. And essentially, this is how the tool looks right now. I didn't want to create like an audit for the presentation, but a way cleaner design, way cleaner output, and a way for people to actually interact with the report that they're getting for the website. And essentially, this leads us to where we are today with that validation process. We have 50 active clients using this tool right now. So real teams running reports on a weekly or bi-weekly basis for them, for their projects, for their agencies. We have around 300 users a month that go into generate a report, either for them, either like expecting competition or doing what. And all of this is for free. And that's what works for us for right now. This is what allows us to generate leads in the sales process. This allows us to have impactful conversations with our potential prospects. And this is like a starting conversation. Hey, your current website is like this, how we can improve this and how we can help you be better. And the most funny kind of part is that while we were in the validation process, we were actually doing like midnight support for the failed reports, where we were like sending out fixed reports for a tool that's ugly and that's free. So you have to be a little passionate about the project that you're building. All of this, all of the process, essentially when you chunk it down, took 6 to 8 weeks of actual work and $3,000 of investment to test, validate, and upscale an idea and have a functioning report today that we present to our clients or to the community. And I was talking a bit faster, so maybe I missed some things, but essentially the goal of this conversation and this talk is for you to have 5 steps that you can apply tomorrow, or a framework that you can take with you, and find essentially a way to validate an idea that you currently have, because again, in the age of AI, I'm sure we're all sitting like in a minefield of ideas and potential applications that we want to test out. Find a repetitive task that you already do manually. So for us, this was generating the report, was actually kind of scanning through the websites, making sure that we cover all of the basics. And then you identify what that manual work is. You ask how AI could do it for you. You find a way where you can automate and speed up the process where you finish that automated work. And the most important part, ship it out in 2 weeks. And I'm saying ship something ugly because it doesn't need to be pretty. It doesn't need to look good. It doesn't need to have dozens of pages, dozens of functionalities. It just needs to be there. It needs to exist so people can see it, use it. In our case, we had existing marketing channels. We had like a community. Share it on LinkedIn. Share it with your coworkers. Share it with people you work with, somebody you know from the industry, and see if it has traction. See if it works. See if people actually use it and actually like it. And that's the 4th step. Don't ask, but measure. Try to see how many interactions you actually get, and then you can tell to yourself, hey, this actually makes sense. This is something that's viable. Let's invest more time and more money into developing this. And only then you do the actual UI, you scale up, you either monetize, or in our case, we're still free. So that's kind of the process. And again, something that I want you today to leave with is that your next idea, try to ship it in 2 weeks, even if it's ugly. So just do the work and then see what happens. Thank you.